What does $250,000 buy you in the NFL? Apparently, a very public apology and the exact opposite of the classy wave you meant to give. It was late in the Cowboys' 37-22 win at MetLife Stadium when a short, startling video began its life on the internet. Jerry Jones, smiling from his luxury box, points, then briefly flashes the middle finger before switching back to a pointing motion, a blink and you might miss it moment that didn't get missed. The league has responded. The NFL is fining Jones $250,000. Reuters. Here's the thing that makes this more than a crude gesture clip. Jones didn't deny the motion. He explained it. On his weekly radio show, he said the intent was a thumbs up to Cowboys fans caught outside the stadium, not an insult to Jets fans, calling it an inadvertent miscue that was corrected pretty quick. He later confirmed he'd consider an appeal. Those facts matter because they shape how this plays in the court of public opinion, intentional disrespect, or a very expensive finger fumble. AP News. Why the big fine? The NFL treats owners differently from fans and with higher expectations. There's precedent. The league fined the late Titans owner Bud Adams $250,000 in 2009 for a similar obscene display, and it's not the first time the NFL has punished prominent owners for on-field behavior that crosses a line. The message is clear. The stadium box is not a two-way mirror for whatever impulse strikes you. Leaders in the league are expected to model restraint, and the league's discipline reflects that standard. Reuters. Let's slow the tape and look at consequences three ways: optics, organizational culture, and comeback theater. Optically, the image of an owner flipping a finger, even accidentally, is a bad headline, especially for a franchise that trades heavily on brand and family-friendly spectacle. For the Cowboys, who sell an aura as much as they sell tickets, that clip becomes a commercial problem as much as it's a PR one. Sponsors don't love ambiguity. Markets don't love controversy. People.com. On culture, owners do two jobs at once. They write checks and they set emotional tone. If fans and players see Jones as a combustible presence who publicly performs punishment or mockery, it changes the dynamic. Most clubs prefer corrections handled privately, a coach's stern word, a locker room talk, not a luxury box spectacle that winds up as an instant GIF. That's why the fine is symbolic. It's discipline for the owner, meant to preserve the separation between personal impulse and organizational leadership. NFL.com, finally, the comeback theater angle. Jones said the gesture happened in a celebratory sweep of emotion after Dak Prescott's big day, and he insisted his motion was aimed at cheering Cowboys fans who'd gathered outside the suite. If that's true, this is a human moment, a tiny, ungraceful human moment blown up by social media and league rulebooks. If that's false, it's worse. It implies intentional antagonism in a venue where owners are supposed to be ambassadors. Either way, the replay loop does more reputational damage than the fine itself. AP News. There's also the appeals choreography to watch. Jones has the right to appeal, and that process will be a quiet negotiation between the league office and Cowboys brass. Appeals rarely erase headlines. They're a procedural step that can delay the story's letting go. The more interesting part is how Jones responds publicly from here. A mea culpa, a wry deflection, or a firm insistence it was an honest mistake. Each path comes with different risks and payoffs. ESPN.com. A few takeaways for anyone who cares about sports PR and leadership. Camera awareness is non-negotiable. Owners operate under lights. Any impulse can become a headline. Precedent matters. The league has fined owners before. The deterrent exists and will be enforced. How you respond matters more than the action itself. An embarrassed laugh won't erase a clip, but genuine accountability and changed behavior can blunt future fallout. And let's be candid. There's a human comedy in this that the internet will not let die. An 82-year-old billionaire who runs one of America's most visible teams says he accidentally showed the wrong finger. It's awkward, it's absurd, and it will be memed into eternity. But underneath the laughs is a real organizational question. If owners are held to a code of conduct, what happens when they violate it? The fine is one answer. Reputational repair is another. Reuters. If you're the Cowboys PR team, here's the playbook I'd write tonight. Issue a short, sincere statement acknowledging the league's discipline, thank the fan base, and pivot to the team. Focus the narrative back on Dak Prescott's performance and the win. If you're Jerry Jones, Less explanation and more corrective optics, public appearances that emphasize appreciation for fans and charity work will gradually change the tape people pull up when his name surfaces. Actions will have to outpace words. People.com mic drop line. The NFL charged Jerry Jones $250,000 for a gesture in a suite, but the real price might be the tiny erosion of the polished persona that built the Cowboys into a brand. Money buys discipline, time, apologies, and better camera hygiene buy redemption. Which one he chooses will tell you a lot about how the business of football handles human blunders at the very top. Reuters, reporting sources, Reuters, AP, ESPN, NFL.com, People. Video caught it. From his luxury box at MetLife, Cowboys owner Jerry Jones flashed a middle finger during Sunday's win over the Jets, and the NFL has hit him with a $250,000 fine for the gesture. Jones says it was a mistake. He told Dallas radio he meant to give a thumbs up and plans to appeal. Reuters. The clip that went viral shows Jones smiling, pointing, and briefly exposing the obscene gesture before switching motions. In the era of constant cameras, private sideline behavior becomes instant public record. That's exactly what made this a league matter rather than a locker room squabble. The NFL's discipline tracks past precedent. Owners have been fined for similar conduct before, and the league appears to be keeping the penalty consistent. The Guardian, let's be blunt about why this matters. First, optics. Jones is not just an owner. He's the face of a multi-billion-dollar franchise that trades on image and fan access. Flipping off fans, even if aimed at a celebratory crowd, is a PR problem. Second, precedent. The NFL enforces standards for owners as it does for players and coaches. Fines are the league's primary enforcement tool for off-field conduct short of suspensions or forced removals. Third, distraction. The Cowboys are in season, and headlines like this shift focus from the team's performance to drama in the box. Reuters' Jones's explanation is predictable. He says he meant to point and give a thumbs up to jubilant Cowboys fans, and that the wrong finger was used in the heat of the moment. That line will be tested on two fronts: perception and precedent. Perception because fans and media will judge whether it looks accidental. Precedent because the NFL's prior six-figure fines for owner misbehavior make the penalty hard to portray as arbitrary. Expect an appeal that frames this as an honest slip and leans on Jones's long-standing relationship with the league. People.com. The practical fallout is modest for Jones personally. $250,000 is tiny against his net worth, but symbolically it's meaningful. The league's message is clear. Owners are stewards of the product and will be held to expected standards of conduct in public settings. For fans, the fine signals that the NFL cares about decorum from the top down. For the Cowboys, it's a reminder that the owner's behavior can be a distraction during a season that still matters. Reuters, what to watch next: Jones's appeal filing and the tone of his public remarks. If he leans into contrition and avoids repeat incidents, this will likely fade as another blip in the endless NFL news cycle. If he pushes back aggressively, or the clip gets replayed alongside other controversies, the optics could linger and become fodder for rivals, the media, and fans who already scrutinize Dallas closely. Bottom line, the play on the field won the game. The split-second hand motion lost the PR round. In today's sports landscape where every angle is filmed, an owner's gesture is no longer private business. It's a league matter, and the NFL just made that point with a six-figure fine. Reuters.